The energy crisis is still very much in the news, and so I've decided to come here to Auburn University, where they're doing quite a bit of research on things concerned with the energy crisis. I'm talking with Dr. Chester Carroll, who is the Vice President for Research for Auburn University. Dr. Carroll, I'm familiar somewhat with Dr. Vachon and also with Dr. Taylor's work, both in solar energy and in coal conversion research here at Auburn University. But I'd like to know, what other types of research are you doing concerning things to do with the energy crisis?
As a land-grant university, we're doing a number of things related indirectly to the energy crisis. One of these is the effect of the energy crisis on highway construction and also the tourism in the state, which is a rather large business for the state of Alabama to be in.
What about atomic energy? I thought that the university was doing something concerning atomic power.
Well, we're doing work related to nuclear power plants and their location in the state. There are several environmental problems that come up from time to time, and you'll find that Auburn faculty are involved in the solution to these environmental problems.
Is the nuclear power safe?
We like to think in the technical world that nuclear power is a good neighbor. As you probably know, President Nixon has a nuclear power plant within just a few miles of his home at San Clemente, California.
And that's supposed to be reassuring to us that it's absolutely safe.
I would think so.
Okay. What research, though, are you doing more specifically concerning the nuclear power plants? I understood that you were testing water temperature for fish, and would you explain that more?
Nuclear power generates the heat that makes steam, that drives a steam turbine to produce electricity. The water that comes out of a nuclear power plant is therefore quite hot. We're looking at inexpensive ways to cool this water so that when it's discharged into the river, the fish and wildlife won't be harmed by that.
Now, when you're doing research in other areas too, as I understand it, trying to find out just how affected the state will be concerning this energy crisis, what happens when you get together? I mean, I feel that I haven't done a great deal of research, but I feel that I already know that it's going to adversely affect the state. There should be less tourism and perhaps less employment.
Auburn University, as you probably know, is a land-grant institution, and we feel a responsibility in a time of crisis, or when we don't have a crisis for that matter. We feel that if we maintain basic research, we can respond more readily when we do have a crisis. We study matters that affect Alabama and the nation as well. For example, in this case, if you look at the highway construction industry, if you reduce the amount of fuel that's available for vehicles to produce vehicle miles, this gets right at the tax base that supports highway construction, and that will go down.
All right, speaking of taxes, if these things happen, as I've just said, if it adversely affects the state, is the only way that we can get things more stable in the state to raise taxes?
Maybe not. It depends on our ability to produce new revenues in the state. For example, we might add additional industries in the state and tax these industries in such a way that new construction and other deficits that would be created by the energy crisis could be satisfied.
What would you say would be the most productive of all the research that has been going on here?
In energy?
Mm-hmm.
I think the solvent refinement of coal is probably the best project that Auburn University and the state of Alabama has ever been involved in.
You mean converting coal into a clean
fuel? Yes. Coal is a dirty fuel, and the environmental crisis, I think, prevented the development of coal, and production was down considerably.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Carroll. It's been a pleasure to talk to you, and I want to be kept, and I'm sure our audience would like to be kept abreast of the various research that is going on here. Thank you again, and thank you for joining us, and bye for now.